You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive.
Your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic. And it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancy?
So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning?
Because,
so we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist
I'm
is
denying that
dangerous.
trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So
pregnant.
you are denying that trans people exist?
And that leads...
All right, guys, so you got to talk about a story that is another example of how messed up our education system here is in this country, okay? When people talk about some of the biggest problems in our country, I think the biggest problem probably is parenting, and then the second biggest problem is education. I think if we fix parenting and education, I think everything else gets better in this country instantly, okay? However, until those things are fixed, I don't feel like we have much hope. And stories like this are exactly what I'm talking about, because schools are not about teaching kids skills, life skills that they need to survive and to make livable wages or be productive, positive citizens in our society. No. It's about woke indoctrination. It's literally about indoctrinating kids in woke ideology, keeping them as dumb as possible so that they don't have the ability to critically think about the agenda that is being pushed on them, okay? And this story involves a Seattle high schooler who marked incorrect on quiz for saying only women can get pregnant. Now, here's the thing. This is not a troll, right? This is not a kid going out his way to try to troll a teacher and say, oh, men can't get pregnant as an answer to something that has nothing to do with that. No. This is much worse, right? This quiz actually was on wokeness, right? It was a quiz on wokeness. And apparently this kid wasn't woke enough. So therefore, he got marked incorrect because of his failure to adhere to woke ideology. It's pretty disturbing stuff. So without further ado, let's get into it. A Seattle high schooler was marked incorrect on a history quiz when he stated that only women can get pregnant, according to a report. The 10th grade student at Chief Sealth International High School reportedly failed the true-false quiz titled Understanding Gender versus Sex in his ethnic studies world history class. His mother told the conservative radio show, The Jason Rant Show, Sunday. Okay, so what we have here is a woke class, Understanding Gender versus Sex, ethnic studies. Now, I'm not sure if this type of class is appropriate for high schoolers, right? This is the type of class that if you're going to waste taxpayer money teaching this stuff to people, I don't know, maybe you should teach it in college and university. And even there, I don't believe that taxpayer money should go towards teaching kids stuff like this because they're not going to gain anything out of it, right? The only thing they're going to gain out of it is more liberal politics, right? That's the only thing they're going to gain. So I personally don't understand why is this being taught in high school in the first place. But we know the reason why it's being taught is because this is a way to introduce the woke agenda to children, right? It's all about getting them to vote Democrat and to be as liberal as possible. The student labeled two statements true. The first, that, quote, all men have penises, and the second, that, quote, only women can get pregnant. Okay, so first and foremost, why is this question being asked in school, right? That's the first thing. Why are you asking these questions to kids in school? Like, what is the point? What are they learning? What are they actually learning from this? that is going to help them in their lives? Nothing. This is straight up woke propaganda. Okay, now we got to get to the technical here in regards to the answer, because he marked that, hey, it is true, all men have penises. Now, here's the thing, right? I'm not necessarily sure if that's true, because I guess, if a man decides to, get rid of his penis for whatever reason, or has some type of genetic abnormality that, causes them to not have a penis, then I guess this statement wouldn't necessarily be true, right? But we're talking about very rare situations. But one thing I guess you could say is true is that women don't have penises, right? I think that statement probably would have been more true. Okay, now the second statement, only women can get pregnant. Yeah, that's definitely true, right? That one's definitely true. Okay, so again, this first statement, I'm not sure, okay, whether or not you can say that that's like absolutely true in absolute terms. But for the second one, definitely, right? Definitely. He was marked incorrect for both and failed the knowledge check quiz as a result, said his mother, who asked to be anonymous so that his son doesn't get penalized. Quote, I keep trying to wrap my head around how it is legal to teach inaccurate information and force students to answer against their beliefs or receive negative scores, she told the KTTH radio show. Other questions on the quiz, which was administered about 2 weeks ago, asked students about pronoun usage and gender as a construct, according to the talk show. The mom, who said she felt, quote, frustration and anger over the quiz, also said her son, who is white, is often berated by teachers at the school who have reportedly accused him of being racist and, quote, a product of the patriarchy that teaches young boys not to care about anything, according to the Rant Show. Seattle Public Schools said the quiz was meant to promote inclusion and was in line with lessons taught in the ethnic studies class. Okay, so again, what do they mean by that, right? What they mean is that they're pushing an agenda that actually promotes exclusion, right? When they say inclusion, they mean exclusion, specifically of white people, right? And I want you guys to notice here, Seattle Public Schools is not denying it, right? They're not denying it, okay? They're not coming out here and saying, oh, this is false. They're basically saying, yeah, no, this is exactly what we teach. Okay, we want to sit around and talk with your kids about penises, right? Again, this is what is a part of the woke agenda. This is exactly what is happening, right? This is what is happening. They're not even denying it. This is the worst part about it. That's the worst part about it. It's real. Like, this is 100% real. A course description states that students would be, quote, investigating the global economy, society, and culture. Yeah, of course they're not going to put, a detailed description of what they're talking about, because parents might actually, object to it, right? So they just hide it. Seattle Public Schools remains committed to fostering inclusive environments that encourage the exploration of contemporary issues, particularly the examination of power systems such as racism and patriarchy. A spokesperson for the district told the Post in a statement, this dedication extends to providing space for thoughtful exploration and dialogue on these issues. The district also noted the failing quiz grade will not affect the student's overall grade in the class. The student's mother said her son was expressing his own beliefs with his quiz answers. She told the Rant Show she is proud of him because he refused to answer against his beliefs, which are medically and scientifically accurate, or at least used to be. Yeah, so again, I don't understand why they're talking about this. Like, what do students gain? Like, what life skill? Like, tell me, for real. Outside of being a woke activist or some woke commentator or whatever, what does this have to do with helping kids acquire skills to be productive citizens in society? It has absolutely nothing to do with that at all. Okay? It has nothing to do with so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion. What it has to do is with pushing a left-wing agenda on kids so that they continue to vote Democrat no matter what. This is what they're doing, right? This is why Democrats are on board with it, and this is why they're pushing it. And this is why they accuse you of being a bigot, right? Anytime you push back against it and say, hey, this is not right. No, you just don't want kids to learn about gay people. And it's like, no, that's not the case, okay? Kids will learn about gay people, but it's probably best for them to learn about that stuff from, I don't know, their parents, right? From people who can comfortably have that conversation with their children, not from teachers that are pushing woke liberal ideology and politics in school, right? Because that's what they're doing. They use the LGBTQ to push woke politics, to encourage kids to vote Democrat. That's what they're actually really doing, okay? That's what it's really about at the end of the day. So, again, this is all the more reason why homeschooling is important, why school choice is important, and why we have to radically transform our education system in this country. Because if not, again, this is what we're dealing with here, right? This is the level of propaganda that we're dealing with that has been pushed on kids in school. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.